Okay. Good afternoon, Miss Holly. How are you?
Good, Judge. How about you?
I'm doing peachy. And what's our reset date, please?
November the 2nd. Can you believe that?
No. Rain's still in August. Okay. All right, let's get started. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Judge Jessie Lal, and this is going to be the Fulton County State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar. These are a list of cases in which individuals were recently arrested and booked at the Fulton County Jail, charged with certain misdemeanor offenses. When I call your case, I will advise you what is your new case number and what is the your accusation number, what are the charges of which you've been formally accused, and your next court date as well as your bond. For some of you, your next court date may be November 2nd, 2023, and that's going to be at 9 a.m. For that particular court date, most of those proceedings are held by Zoom as well. So if anybody plans to attend, they would need to get a Zoom link. If you're a defendant charged with a misdemeanor offense or offenses, please remember you have a right to remain silent. Anything you choose to say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, we have counsel from the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Courtroom 2, who do we have?
Position number 1.
Okay. And Caesar Carolina, Mr. Carolina, do you speak and understand English?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. This is position number 1, 23 CR 6376C. Mr. Carolina is accused of driving hit and run, failure of the driver to stop and return to the scene of the accident from an October 3rd, 2023 incident. Mr. Carolina, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Miss Adams. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Tucson, any priors? Mr. Howard?
Oh, yeah. 6 total. He's been in custody since October the 6th. He got open SC cases and CP case. You want the charges or you good?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
All right.
C cases and CP cases. Any open CR cases, state court cases?
No.
No one? Is he recommended?
No. I mean, no. No, I'm sorry. No, he's not.
All right.
He got open cases.
All right. And our prosecutor is Ms. Sowry. Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm sorry, one moment. Your Honor, this incident took place at Dunwoody Place and Northridge Road in Sandy Springs. Officers responded to a hit and run call when they met with the victim, whose name is Guadalupe. That's Guadalupe. Last name is Mendoza. She stated that she was stopped at a traffic light and waiting to get on the highway when a vehicle a vehicle driven by the defendant rear-ended her. She stopped immediately and the defendant began to flee. He didn't make any attempt to exchange information or render any aid. Your Honor, later that day, officers were able to identify the defendant as the person that hit the victim's vehicle. The state's recommendation in this case is going to be a signature bond with conditions of a defensive driving course, restitution to the victim. No, I'm sorry, I'll retract that. A defensive driving course, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
Okay. Ms. Adams, any objection to the bond as articulated by Ms. Sowry?
No, Your Honor, no objection.
All right, bond is set at $1,000. It's a signature bond through the jail. No driving unless he has a valid driver's license, adequate insurance, and proper registration. Thank you.
And I'm sorry, Your Honor, we should have sounded for the victim. I don't see her.
Ms. Mendoza, Guadalupe Mendoza. All right. Is that courtroom 2? Who do we have?
We have position number 3.
Okay, this is Rashad Mensa Henson, case number 23 CR 6378J. Mr. Henson, you've been accused of battery from a January 30th, 2023 incident. You've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Ms. Adams. Any priors, Mr. Howard?
Fifth arrest, 2018 FTA, 2016 DUI conviction. He was recommended, level 1.
Ms. Adams? Excuse me, Ms. Sari?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident took place at 1 Interlock Avenue in Atlanta. Officers responded to a dispute regarding the victim, whose name is Michael, last name Kaye. Officers spoke with the victim, and he stated that he was out drinking with a few friends, and while he was on his way back to his car in the parking lot, one of the individuals who was later identified as the defendant punched him in the face. The victim stated that this was unprovoked. There was a witness that stated he knew of the defendant 3 weeks prior to this incident, and that's how the defendant was later identified. The victim in this case did sustain a bloody nose and a laceration to his lower lip. As you've heard from pretrial, I'm sorry, you didn't hear it from pretrial, but there is an FTA in his history that's from 2018. The state's recommendation in this case is a $2,000 surety bond, a stay away from the incident location, no contact with the victim,
Okay,
1 day anger awareness, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
all right. Ms. Adams?
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Henson, Mr. Henson is actually a twin. He has a twin brother. Their names are very similar. When I went over this incident, the documents with him, he was not familiar with it at all. So there is a possibility there may be some confusion as to whether or not it was him or his brother. He and his brother have very similar names. There's literally just 2 letters difference in their first name. Because he has no idea who these people are, what that location is, or what this incident was. In addition to that, Your Honor, he has a high school diploma. He's gainfully employed. He actually just got a job, and so he wants to try to keep it so he can make sure he can pay his bills. He does have a driver's license and no car. He does suffer from an illness, and in that illness, he is in the middle of getting Social Security is actually pending. He does have a certification in IT. He was born and raised right here in Georgia. So, and his family is here. So he has plenty of family ties to the community. And other than that, Your Honor, we are requesting that he get a signature bond, especially considering that although he did have that FTA a while back, that FTA was because he did not receive notice in the mail. He took care of it. He went to court and he handled that other case. So again, Your Honor, we're requesting a signature bond at this time.
What's the name of this other twin?
His name is Rashid with 2 I's as opposed to Rashad with 2 A's. Mr. Rashid Henson is actually his emergency contact on all of the paperwork.
And is that a fraternal or identical twin?
I believe they're identical. They're identical, right, Mr. Henson?
Fraternal.
Oh, fraternal. Okay.
All right. Bond's going to be set at $3,000. It's going to be a signature bond through pretrial services. He will report to pretrial every month. He will have no further contact with Michael K. and Drew Ater, A-T-E-R. And he's to stay away from the location known as 1 Interlock Avenue in Northwest Atlanta. Mr. Henson, your bond is set at $3,000. It's going to be a signature bond. If you don't report to court, if you don't report to pretrial every month, and if you get arrested again for anything else, your signature bond will be revoked and converted to a surety bond or a cash bond. Please be mindful of the no contact provisions, and we will see you in court in the future. Thank you.
And Your Honor, again, I'm sorry if we could sound for the victim.
Michael K. or Drew Ater? Michael K. Drew Ater. All right, next case.
We have position number 4.
Okay. Mustafa Miller is accused of theft by taking. The case is accused under 23 CR 6379C. Alleged incident date is October 18th, 2023.
Number 4 is low, right?
I have Mustafa. Oh, I'm so sorry. I am reading. You're correct. Let me repeat that. Position number 4 is Stephen David Lowe, and he's accused of battery, family violence, willful obstruction of an officer, and simple battery, family violence, from an October 18th, 2023 incident. Mr. Stephen Lowe, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Ms. Adams. Mr. Howell?
16 total. Last was 2021. Possession of a Schedule 1. Possession of a firearm during the commission. That's open. 22 SC 185419. Got an open trafficking case. 22 SC 185. Okay, that's 419 as well. 2017 failure to appear. 2016 disorderly conduct conviction. 2016 probation violation. 2015 probation failure to appear. And a 2014 simple assault.
Thank you. Ms. Sowry?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident took place at 5600 Roswell Road in Sandy Springs. Officers responded to this incident location and spoke with the victim, whose name is Kayla. That's Kayla. Last name is Bumpus. And Your Honor, she is on the Zoom call. The victim reported that she and the defendant were in the car driving when they got into a verbal altercation. During this verbal altercation, the defendant struck the victim in the face. He also grabbed her by the head and held her down, and repeatedly struck her in the face. Your Honor, the victim's wig, she was wearing a wig apparently, and it was ripped off during this incident, and she sustained multiple injuries. As we've heard from pretrial, the defendant does have a simple battery conviction in his history, as well as a disorderly conduct. I would also note that he has a simple battery family violence that looks like it was an arrest, and he also has an open felony, so he does present a risk of reoffending. The state's recommendation in this case is a $3,000 surety bond, no contact with the victim, a stay away, 1-day anger awareness, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
Ms. Adams?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Lowe, he is gainfully employed. He has a new job. He's actually been working on that job for about 3 months. But prior to that, he was working for UPS for 2 years. So he's had consecutive work history.
Mhm.
He has 12th grade education. He has a driver's license, no car. He's a very active father of 3 children, the youngest being 4 years old. And he has been living here in Georgia a majority of his life. His family lives here, so he has family ties to the community. Your Honor, Mr. Lowe does understand that he does have a criminal history and how that could potentially have an effect on your decision with regards to bond today. But he has been trying to get his life together. He does have a place he can go, so he does not need to return to the home that he shared with the complaining witness, which is to go stay with his mother. She lives on Hall Circle. I can get the court the full address if it's necessary. And with regards to all of that, he can stay away. They do share a child, if I'm not mistaken, and so we would be requesting a signature bond, Your Honor. And with regards to the stay away, we would be requesting third-party contact so that he can have contact with his child.
Okay. Ms. Bumpus? If you need to address the court, I see the Zoom panel styled as attorney Kayla Bumpus, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm an attorney. That's just my standard handle.
All right, good. Could we have your video as well?
Your Honor, I'm not in a position to turn my video on. I don't have anything to say though.
Okay, all right. You are free to mute your screen then. Thank you.
And I'm sorry, Your Honor, one more thing regarding the obstruction charge. And for this charge, the defendant was asked to comply with law enforcement. He stated that they would have to take out a warrant for his arrest in order to get him to comply. And he did flee. He ran to avoid arrest. So that was the reason for the obstruction charge.
All right, thank you. Ms. Adams?
Your Honor, we just reiterate all of the things that we've already outlined, and we just request a signature bond, if not a bond of $1,500. Thank you, Your Honor.
On the battery is going to be 5,000. The willful obstruction is going to be 2,500, and the simple battery is 2,500. The total bond is set at 10,000. It is a surety bond. No further contact with Kayla Bumpus to stay away from wherever she lives, wherever she works, wherever she's physically located. He's to stay 200 yards away from her. He's not to communicate with her either through a phone, through in person, through a third party, through any kind of computer or phone device, and definitely not through social media. And his next court date is November 2nd. Ms. Sowry, do you know if the child that he has contact with is through marriage or through?
It's my child, Your Honor. He's not legitimated. He has no rights, and I don't think he has no reason to contact her at this point.
Thank you, Ms. Bumpus. But as an attorney, you will understand that the court has ordered that all appearances must be by video. So please comply with that court order.
Okay, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was
That's
told
all
by
right.
the victim advocate I didn't have to turn my camera on.
You don't have to turn your camera on, but if you want to allocute anything, you would have to start your video so that I would know who I am addressing. Understood? No, that's okay. If you don't have anything else to say, you're free to leave. With regards to the contact with the minor child, he's to have no contact with the minor child until he legitimates the child and gets a court order establishing authorized visitation and custody. Thank you. Next court date is November 2nd at 9 a.m.
Your Honor, I apologize. I just wanted to make sure that I had it correct. You said it was 5,000 on the first charge and 2,500 on the two subsequent charges.
That'd be correct. And add
And
up of 10,000 surety.
surety. Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
And I can put the victim's address in the chat if that helps.
Yeah, if you could direct that to Miss Holly, please.
Yes, Judge.
Next case, please.
Hello, how is everybody doing?
We have position number 5.
All right, thank you. This is Mr. Mustafa Miller, accused of theft by taking on October 18, 2023, case number 23 CR 6379C. Mr. Miller, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be Miss Kim.
Yes.
Any priors, Mr.
39 total. Last arrest was in July. Shoplifting. He just got put on probation for that in state court back in August. 2020, he was arrested for deadly missile throwing, damage to property conviction. That was out of Florida.
Okay.
2019, possession of cocaine conviction. 2017, resisting without violence conviction. Now, he wasn't recommended. He on probation.
Miss Sowry?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident took place at 581 Metropolitan Parkway in Atlanta, and that's the address of Slim and Husky's Pizza. The defendant in this case took a tip that contained, he took a tip that was $20, and it was the property of the victim, whose name is Rodarious. Last name is Marshall, Marshall. And then the defendant fled the store. This defendant does present a risk of reoffending. As you've heard from pretrial, he has an open or an active probation case. And Your Honor, that was for theft of services at an Olive Garden. And you were the judge that handled that sentencing, and he's on probation for that case. He has a conviction for theft by shoplifting. That case was resolved in August of this year by conviction. And then he has an open case for theft by taking possession of drug-related objects. In that case, he was given a UJR by Chief Glanville, and yet here he is today. So the state's recommendation in this case is a $500 surety bond a stay away, no contact with the victim, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
Yes, as time moves on, I'm beginning to look more and more like Judge Morrow because apparently he signed off on it, but we clearly look alike. So, Mr. Kim, yes, any recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor, I still would like to recommend for a signature on bond. He is very indigent. He's financially going through a lot of hardships, and Your Honor, he is residentially challenged as well. So I will be referring him to social worker services to get BHET done as well. And Your Honor, he does not have a job. However, he collects recycling bins and aluminum cans and metals to get minimum money here and there, but it is not good enough. And Your Honor, he completed up to 8th grade. And he says he does not have any disability or any kind of mental health issues at all. But anyway, he has only one person who can help him, who is in Louisiana, Kentucky. I try to contact, but we have not been able to reach anybody. He's not going to be able to bond himself out. Even $500 is almost like a no bond for him, Your Honor.
You said from Louisiana or from Louisville, Kentucky?
Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, okay. Churchill Downs. Okay. Mr. Miller's bond is $1,000 signature bond through the jail. He is to make sure that he comes back to court when summoned to answer this case. And he is to stay away from the pizza place known as Slim and Husky. That describe the customers or the chef? No, nobody got that. All right. And no contact with Mr. R. Marshall. Thank you.
We're a little slow today, Judge, but I caught it.
Thank you. All right, that case is further notice for trial. Thank you.
Next,
Deputy?
I'm sorry. Next, we have position number 8.
8, okay. And oops, I need to look at the screen for that one. And that one we have Mr. Quintavious Williams, accusation number 23 CR 6381F. Mr. Williams has been accused of carrying a weapon in a school safety zone at school functions from October 18th, 2023. Mr. Williams, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Miss Kim.
7 total. Last arrest was July, probation. Got an open possession of a firearm by first offender. 23 SC 188461. What else?
Give me that case number again, 23 SC?
188461.
All right. That's
Got an entering.
No, that's good. Thank you.
Okay.
Ms. Sari, what's your bond recommendation for Mr. Williams?
Yes, Your Honor. One moment. The facts in this case is that the incident took place at 111 James P. Brawley Drive. The defendant in this case was seen with a handgun in his front right pocket. As we've heard from pretrial, he does have a history. I have an conviction for entering auto, possession of tools for a crime, and a criminal damage to property, criminal trespass, possession of marijuana. I also have an arrest for possession of firearm during the commission or attempted commission of a felony. So he, in that 2023 ag assault in possession of a firearm, that was dismissed. He does present a risk of reoffending, as well as bringing the weapon on a school campus that is alarming to the state. Our recommendation in this case is a $15,000 surety bond. Stay away, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
All right, thank you. Ms. Kim, yes.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 22 years old, Your Honor, and he has been in jail literally 106 days for, violence and all that kind of stuff. And he just got out of the jail and he was enjoying the first day outside of the jail. It was not even 24 hours. He says he did not have any weapon with him, and he tried to explain that to the police, but police did not listen to him. And there was another guy who may have had weapon, but my client claims that he did not have any weapon with him. He was barely out of the jail. He did not want to come back, so this was very disappointing. And Your Honor, his fiance is actually expecting to have a baby either today or tomorrow. I tried to reach her and she was in labor, so to speak. So it's his first daughter he really want to see, and he used to work at Amazon, but because of incarceration, he probably have lost it, and yet he's reapplying for that job so that way he can take care of his new baby and fiance. And Your Honor, he completed up to 10th grade in high school. After that, he also got GED. And I would like to request for a signature on bond because he really did not have weapon on him. If Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond, there is already $5,000 set. We just want that to be remain, so that way it does not have to go up to $15,000, which is too high. Thanks, Your Honor.
All right, he said he's 22 years old,
Yes,
and does he live near that particular high school on James Brawley Drive?
they were
And-
having a concert, so he went there to enjoy the concert with his friends.
So he just got released from jail and he was on the way to the high school to attend a concert while his girlfriend was in labor.
That I do not know, Your Honor.
And Judge, we want to point out the multiple arrests for possession of a firearm.
No, I don't need that. I just read the warrant, so I'm really curious about the sequence of events as indicated. I'm going to go with the state's recommendation, $15,000 surety bond. Mr. Williams, your conditions for your bond in your felony case is no weapons and no firearms. And let me just go through some, maybe you didn't remember. You're not allowed to have a firearm on your person. You're not allowed to have a firearm in your home. You're not allowed to have a firearm anywhere near you. And you're not allowed to have a firearm in any vehicle that you occupy. According to the warrant, the allegation is that the firearm was on your person. So if there's a dispute in the facts, that's when you really need to work with your attorney to try to resolve that. Your felony case expressly states no firearms. So that is something you're going to have to your attorney will have to deal with the district attorney's office as to whether they're going to allow you to be released or whether they're going to ask for a revocation of your bond. I do not know. But just to let you know, you cannot have any guns anywhere near you, on your home, and so forth. Unfortunately, the allegation in the warrant clearly states that the handgun was allegedly on your person, and that is very, very problematic. Again, $15,000 surety bond. Next court date is November 2nd. No weapons and no firearms, and to stay away from the high school at 111 James P. Brawley Drive in Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you. Next case, please.
Yes, position number 6 waived his appearance.
Okay. And what about position number 2?
Number 2.
Curtis Ep.
It's purge issue, Your Honor, for abandonment of child.
Oh, okay. So what was there a purge amount?
I believe it was $264, Your Honor.
Okay, the basic bond amount.
Yes.
Okay, so so are you waiving a first appearance for Mr. Ep?
Oh, no, not the Mr. Ebb. I'm waiving the appearance for Mr. Osborne.
Who represents Curtis Ebb?
I guess I have to do it.
Is Mr. Ebb, Deputy, is Curtis Ebb available? Or
No,
Did
he's
he-
not. He was in, I believe he was in, felony court today.
Okay. What would you like to do, Ms. Kim? Unless I get a written waiver, we can address him tomorrow.
Okay, that should be fine, Your Honor.
Okay, Curtis Ebb is reset to C calendar tomorrow, October 20th. All right, thank you, Deputy. I think we just got that one other case on the waiver of appearance. Thank you. This is Philip Osborne, case number 23 CR 6380D, accused of theft by shoplifting. He's represented by Public Defense Counsel, Ms. Kim. And Ms. Kim, if you just might hold. Ms. McLeod, I noticed you're on the Zoom. Did you have a case with us, or were you calling about the Riley case from this morning?
I have a case, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Or is it Curtis Smith?
Yes, he's at ACDC and I haven't spoken to him yet.
Oh, okay. ACDC can, Deputy Milton is, you look perplexed. Okay.
I think that's what I was told, that he's there.
Do we have Curtis Smith, position 7 on our C calendar?
Hold on a second. Let me see what's his location.
All right. If you locate him, then he needs to go into a breakout with Miss McLeod. All right.
Okay.
Courtroom
right.
2 is free to go. And Miss Kim, you have waived appearance for Philip Osborne.
Yes.
Mr. Howard, any priors on Mr. Osborne?
28 total. He got an open ag assault battery DB. That's 23 SC 189234. On probation, 4 counts of burglary. A RICO Act. That's out of Douglas County.
When
Also,
was that disposition?
2011, they gave him 15 years probation.
Okay. Any shoplifting convictions?
Nah, but he got 5 counts of burglary conviction as well.
All right, that's good. Thank
He
you.
on probation for that. And he got a parole hold.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, give me 10 minutes and I'll be right back.
Thank you, Deputy Milton.
Okay.
Ms. Sowry, what's the recommendation for Mr. Osborne?
Yes, Judge. I just want to also note I have a theft by receiving stolen property conviction as well. Looks like it's from 2000. This incident took place at the Dollar General located at 2310 Martin Luther King. Officers responded regarding a shoplifting call. It was stated that the witness in this case, she stated that the defendant was seen taking 4 packs of Newport cigarettes, as well as 3 cartons. The items totaled around $200. The witness did state that the defendant comes in frequently and he is a frequent shoplifter from the store. The state's recommendation in this case is a $1,000 surety bond, stay away, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Philip Osborne was actually arrested on July 7, 2023. He's been incarcerated for last 105 days, Your Honor. This incident happened on June 4, 2023, and the warrant was issued on July 25, 2023. He was actually appeared for everything else except this. So I believe this is a Riverside issue. So we would like to request for a signature on bond without any restriction, Your Honor. He is he's going to be homeless, but he does have an address right now. As of now, he already has a $20,000 bond that he cannot pay for other charges. He's not going anywhere, Your Honor.
Right. Where's the other 5,000 from? I see a $15,000.
Yes, it's for battery family violence that happened on March 27, 2023. He told me that he got $5,000 for that.
I see. Okay.
Case.
Any response to the Riverside issue? Ms. Sowry?
I'm sorry, I'm looking at it. I'm looking for it now. If Your Honor does deem this as a Riverside, we would still ask for the stay away.
Okay. Bond is set $1,000 signature bond through the jail. This is a Riverside matter, so I cannot impose any restrictions. Next court date for Mr. Osborne is still going to be November 2nd. He does have a $20,000 bond, so I'm still going to schedule him for November 2nd, pending his release on these other charges. All right.
Thank you.
While we're waiting on Deputy Milton to return about Curtis Smith, just to go down the calendar, position number 1 was $1,000 signature bond through the jail. Position 2 is reset to October 2nd, tomorrow. See calendar. Position 3 is a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial for the notice. Position 4 is a $10,000 surety bond, reset November 2nd. Position 5 is a $1,000 signature bond through the jail for the notice. Does Mr. Miller have any holes? Do I need to reset him to November 2nd as well?
Let me check quickly, Your Honor.
All right.
He does have a Orange County hold from Atlanta Police Department, APD. So he should be released to that place.
Okay, then I won't reset him. Position 6 is $1,000 signature bond through the jail, November 2nd. 7, we are holding on that. And 8, Quintavious Williams, a $15,000 surety on reset date, November 2nd. All right, and we will just be in recess until Deputy Milton appears with Mr. Curtis Smith. Thank you.
Thank you.